Helv's not here, so you get yours truly, this guy, this time. We've got a lot of shit to go through, 5 different passings to cover, considering we've been gone since, 2 weeks ago. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show, shall we? All right. So, I'm Alan. That's Valor, or that's Valor.
What's up,
I would
guys?
I would imagine more people will show up as the show goes along, so we'll see, real life shit. Um, but yeah, so welcome to the Sports Disaster, episode 112. As I said before, we have a lot to talk about, but before we get into any of that, we have some passings to discuss. It from last show to this show. Actually, the day after, I believe it was exactly the day after the last show we did 2 weeks ago. Legendary college basketball coach Bob Knight passed away. And then in the time since, just recently, Roman Cechmanek was a former goalie in the NHL and abroad, passed away. Former NFL cornerback DJ Hayden passed away, along with two of his former University of Houston teammates. I believe in a car wreck. Um, one of our beloved friends from
One
the
of our
Urinating
good
Tree
friends of
Discord.
ours.
One of his cats passed away recently. He often would show his cats on stream during the dumpster fire a lot. So which was always a nice sight to see. So it's unfortunate to know that he's lost one of them. Um, uh, so
And
Yu
before we
Yang,
go
you
in
said
there,
is the
we
cat.
just learned very recently today, Padres owner, Padres chairman and owner. Let me pull up what his name is real quick.
Peter Seidler passed
Peter
away.
Seidler passed away at the age of 63.
Yep. So we're just gonna run the 30-second countdown for silence purposes.
As our moment of silence.
Alrighty then. So first thing on the docket now to get into is what the hell is going on in the NFL right now as we pull up our good old friends over at the Playoff Predictor. Wow. So this is showing off of this past week, which of course got done last night with the insanity of that finish between the Broncos and Bills. The Bills today firing offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. Although yes, Ken Dorsey sucks, but that doesn't quite explain having 12 men on the field for the Broncos field goal attempt, which, by the way, the Broncos had doinked the original attempt, and then the 12 men on the field penalty gets called. They get another shot. The kick goes up. It was good. The Broncos win. Now the Broncos are now 4-5. The Bills are 5-5. So, I mean,
This has been quite a stupid week so far, in my opinion.
It's like that's the 6th game-winning field goal we've had so far this season.
We had 6 game-winning kicks.
Yeah.
Also, we've had a few upsets this week, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we had a few of those. I do want to say,
in my opinion, is unfortunately my beloved Ravens have decided to revert back to last year's version of them, have a big lead, and then all of a sudden abandon the run game, and then of course your defense completely falters.
Yeah, how the hell do you blow it to the Browns, man? Jesus. And this is what's crazy about everything. The Browns and the fucking Texans are in a playoff spot. My reaction to this is simple.
Hey, what the fuck?
Because how in the hell is this allowed? How?
Simply because C.J. Stroud is probably the best young quarterback.
C.J. Stroud is him. C.J. Stroud is not only him, he's probably the best quarterback to come out of Ohio State, ever, maybe.
No doubt about it.
Because Ohio State quarterbacks don't seem to translate well to the NFL. As an Oregon fan, I know that feeling. Thank God for Justin Herbert. Although, fuck Brandon Staley. Forever fuck Brandon Staley.
Please fire him, Chargers.
Yes, please. Just please. Please get rid of Brandon Staley.
Coaches, I want to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. How does this keep happening?
Yeah. Arthur Smith.
First. Fuck wrong with you, stupid?
Yes.
And also,
Arthur Smith needs to get fired. As someone who's a secondary Falcons fan, I want to see his ass gone. People are abandoning the team because of that. I mean, I'm specifically looking at you, Audina, if you somehow show up in this stream.
Yeah. Yeah, Arthur, yeah. And then, using Bijan on special teams, what? I don't understand. What is Arthur Smith's problem? You've had Kyle Pitts there since he's been drafted for the last few years, and he has done jack and shit for you. Granted, he's a tight end. Throw him the fucking ball so he can catch passes and catch touchdowns. You drafted Bijan in the top 10 this year. You have Drake London, I believe, wide receiver. You got some other guys here. And yet, we know the Falcons' defense has been a problem for the last several years. But what is it with Arthur Smith and not using the weapons that he has? And then fucking Heineke gets hurt, so Ritter's got to come back in the game. It was Kyler Murray's return game, and he leads a comeback. The dude still has fucking wheels. I don't understand, because the NFC South is so bad, but it's also so wide open, because it's not like the Saints are going to run away with this goddamn division. They're not good. The Bucks are all right.
Decent teams. The Bucks look decent.
And then the Panthers are a one-win
Panthers are pretty much dead.
Yeah, no, Jesus Christ. It's David Tepper had said they would not accept mediocrity when he took over the team, when he took ownership of the team. The fuck do you call this, David? What are you doing?
It's called giving the first overall pick to the Bears because you traded DJ Moore.
Yeah, well, you traded up to get the number 1 pick, which, look, don't get me wrong. And apparently, I think Tepper wanted Bryce. I think somebody else in the Panthers organization wanted Stroud. Whatever the fucking case may be, it's a shitty-ass fucking situation in Carolina. And
Bryce Young's being left out to dry right now.
Exactly. And, they're talking about Frank Reich and company needing to make the offense better and all this other stuff. Frank Reich, he
just doesn't work.
No, Frank Reich is not good. He's just not. So this is where everything stands right now. The Chiefs lead the AFC, followed by the Ravens, Jaguars, and Dolphins, with the wild cards going to the Steelers, Browns, and Texans. And it's a complete dogfight in this conference, because then you have the Bengals, the Colts somehow, the Bills, the Raiders somehow, the Chargers, the Jets, and then the Broncos, and the Titans are still kind of in it. They're 3-6, but they're not too far off.
Stupid this
year. And then you have the Patriots. What in the hell? Thank God I was at work during the Germany game, because how the hell you score a field goal in your opening drive, Colts get a touchdown, the game is 7-3 pretty much the majority of the way. Mac Jones, again, disaster class. And then you put Bailey Zappi in, and you lose the game. Well, the game had probably lost earlier on, but you lose the game on a fake spike interception.
And triple coverage, by the way.
Yes, I only have. Thank God I have all of this shit like uploaded in here for these clips.
And I know Patriots fans
because
say this
I have one reaction to this.
It's time
to the entire New England Patriots team.
Do me a favor, from me to you. Put your motherfucking head back down. For what, son?
God damn.
Abolish the Belichick.
Like, bro, we're on a bye this week. I don't think Belichick's getting let go, but honestly, like, he's got to get let go at the end. I'm sorry. I know he got extended and it's probably going through next year, but, bro, Belichick, if you're going to chase Shula's record, you're going to have to go somewhere else to get it done because it's not going to be here. I'm sorry.
Maybe we're done. Opens up, like maybe the Chargers could be a good spot if Staley gets fired.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's maybe a couple of teams that could probably use him, but I at this point, Belichick would probably just retire if I know anything. Oh, okay. Sarah's here. Sarah says mid. No shit. Hi.
Yeah, I just said it. Welcome. I just said that for the memes.
So what's
don't worry. I have that here. I have that here. Hold on. I have that here.
Mid. We already know.
And again, we're worse than mid. So
okay. So we take a look at the NFC side.
We already know that Belichick is a future commander.
You see Philly at the top seed. Detroit. The Lions are 7-2. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What? San Francisco, New Orleans leading the division. Seattle, Dallas, and then finally the Vikings is the final team. But look, it's a whole bunch of mid right behind him. Tampa,
play it again.
Mid. Right. I do not understand.
Tampa, the Commies, Falcons, Menard's team, aka the Packers.
Save big money at Menards.
I have no
the hot ass ones, the Rams and the Bears, and then the Giants,
and then the Giants and Panthers and Cardinals.
Panthers, Cardinals. Those teams are pretty
somehow the Giants are not the worst team in the NFC right now. We have the number 2 pick, which you're like, oh, how? You know, we literally beat Arizona. That's because head-to-head is not a tiebreaker in this. Actually, it's strength of schedule, and the Giants' strength of schedule is weaker than the Cardinals. So the Giants currently hold the number 2 overall pick in the Tankathon standings.
Yeah. See, here's the other thing too: is now that the Cardinals have Kyler back, like, yes, you played the Falcons the last week. This week you get CJ Stroud and the Texans. I think Kyler is going to get the Cardinals some more wins, and it honestly might take Arizona out of contention for the number 1 pick, which is fine. Because if you put a competent team with competent coaching around Kyler, and as long as Kyler can stay healthy, you may have a shot. That's kind of been the problem, is that Arizona has been so incompetent with ownership and management. You know, it's just a question of, can they do it?
Let's also not forget the fact of the matter on Dobbs was having them close in a lot of those games and a lot of those losses.
Yeah, exactly. So like Tree and Grassi have said, the Cardinals were competitive.
Competent team around him.
I think Gannon's a very good coach that they have there. So we'll see.
Well, the thing with Gannon is it was like, and people will say it's on management and not on him that he allegedly lied to Dobbs' face about him not getting traded. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's still a shitty situation to put the guy in.
Yeah.
But for what Dobbs has been able to do in Minnesota so far has been pretty incredible.
Here's what I will say. Here's what I'm going to say about what's going to happen and what they're called. GDR was saying like, oh, the Giants are going to beat us if they shove Saquon Barkley down their throat. So even if that's the case, obviously Barkley was stuffed. He got 60 yards, but he was still stuffed.
Yeah,
by the
your problem is
goddamn
that offensive
Dallas.
line is hot ass,
Here's
bro.
what's
Like,
gonna
what
happen.
happened to Evan Neal?
Barkley is going to be good for 70 to like 120 yards a game. Maybe gets into the end zone, but that's going to be the only fucking offense that this team is going to be able to do. What I basically see the rest of the way, because I think Arizona is going to get wins. This is what I basically see. The loser of the Giants-Patriots game on Thanksgiving weekend.
God.
The loser of that game will be in contention the rest of the way with the Panthers for the number 1 overall.
Or should I say the
pick.
Chicago Bears, because the Bears own that pick.
Yeah, you know what would be really funny is if we somehow lose to the Giants.
It's Bears represented by Panthers.
Yeah,
that's basically what that is. So
yeah,
and then basically however the Panthers do, it will be between the Panthers and then whoever loses between the Giants and the Patriots.
Yeah, this is the Panthers' remaining schedule, so
I do think the Packers are going to get some wins. I think the Rams are going to get some wins. Tennessee is going to get some wins. We already know that. They're not going to be nowhere near the number 1 pick.
But we have to talk about some of the messes.
I think Chicago and Green Bay are going to just I think Green Bay beats the Giants, which will put them at 4 wins. I do think Chicago might beat Green Bay in their next game. I think
I have a feeling that Green Bay.
So here's the thing with Chicago. They play the Lions this week, then they get the Vikings, then they get a bye, then they play the Lions again. Browns, Cardinals, Falcons, Packies. The Packers, they have the Chargers this week, and then the Lions, and then the Chiefs. That's 3 brutal ass games. Then you get the Giants, Packers, Panthers, Vikings, Bears. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, Panthers, this is what you have left. For the Cardinals, you have the Texans, Rams, Steelers. Then you get your late ass bye, and then you have the Niners, Bears, Eagles, and Seahawks. So, and then for the sake of everything, the Patriots, we're on bye this week because we're coming back from Germany. By the way, Jack Jones got waived, and he's headed to the Raiders, so good on him. We get the Giants next, God help me, and then the Chargers, and then the Steelers, and then the Chiefs, and then the Broncos, and then the Bills, and then the Jets. Like the thing is, like people were looking at like this part of the schedule.
For New York, let's just bring it up there for the Giants.
Yeah. Okay. So with the Jets,
the Giants.
The Giants. Sorry.
The Giants. We have the Commies, which that I'm afraid of that because we beat them in New York already once this year. But that game's gonna be in
you beat them in New York. But
however, Howell's been looking better.
Yeah, but it depends with that because of the defensive line, because of them trading away Sweat and Young. So.
But then again, we have Tommy DeVito, so I don't know how that game's going to go. Unfortunately, that's a one-all game. Then we have you guys on Thanksgiving weekend. Then it's bye. Then it's the Packers. Then it's the Saints, and then Eagles, Rams, and the Eagles again. The thing I'm going to say as a Giants fan, the thing I'm very much afraid of is obviously with how our team is basically on offense. You lost Daniel Jones, Evan Neal's out hurt. Andrew Thomas did return to the game against the Cowboys, but I don't know how he's going to be in upcoming weeks. The thing I'm very much more afraid of is there are games there that are very much winnable, and I do afraid that the Giants are going to win meaningless games to take them out of the the contention for Drake May and Penix, and even
you might end up with Bo Nix as this rate, honestly. Yeah. So here's the thing: if the Giants fire Dable at the end of the year, which honestly would be stupid because last year was a massive overachievement. This year you've sucked.
Dable has been.
I don't think Dable's a bad head coach. He has to work with Daniel Jones, and the Daniel Jones experiment with Dable was only going to work for 1 year. But
I'm going to just say this now. Dable has been very much questionable over the last month and a half. To the point where to the point where he's starting to lose some of the fans. I do wonder if he's losing the locker room. And the thing is, if he loses the ownership, then that's strike 3. He's gone.
See, the thing with Dable is I think he's a good head coach. It's just when you have to work with Daniel Jones, and I'm not saying Daniel Jones is the worst. He is who he is. He's not good. And last year clouded everybody because it was an overachievement. I think at this rate, but if Dable gets fired, Buffalo needs to be picking up the phone and getting him back because maybe that will fix Josh Allen again. Because Jesus Christ, Buffalo, like.
Josh Allen
I
is a
had to
literal
pull this
turnover
up
machine.
because look at what they have left. They get the Jets this week, then they play the Eagles, then a bye, then the Chiefs, then the Cowboys, then the Chargers, then us, and then the Dolphins.
That's a brutal
The
schedule.
way that they are playing right now, can they beat the Eagles? Probably not. Can they beat the Chiefs? I mean, the Broncos beat them, so maybe. Can they beat the Cowboys? Maybe. Can they beat
Probably
the
not.
Chargers? Maybe. Can they beat the Dolphins in Week 18? Well, the Dolphins will probably be resting starters because by that point they will have probably won the division. So
Ken Dorsey also
potentially.
was fired today.
My question is, can Miami beat
Ken
somebody
Dorsey
over
is.
500?
Exactly. For Buffalo,
And then
your shot was when you lost that thriller of a game against the Chiefs in the divisional round a couple years ago. Hell, even last year when you lost to the Bengals. Because now you are fucked. If Buffalo fails to make the playoffs this year, McDermott's getting fired. I don't know if Brandon Beane stays. He might.
and Buffalo might
McDermott's
seriously
getting
blow it
fired,
up
and
because
then you
Boston's
have to
gonna-
take a serious long look at Josh Allen and say, can he continue to lead this team or not? Again, maybe if you bring back Dable, maybe that will fix him. Because I saw some people saying last night, Dable would tell Josh Allen no when it came to doing certain plays and certain things, and Dorsey wasn't enough of that to tell him no. So maybe all Josh Allen needs is to get Dable back. But now you've got Trayvon Diggs once again spouting off the mouth, saying that his brother Stefan's got to get out of there. And also saying that Josh Allen only started going off when Stefan got there. And you can't even blame it on the defensive injuries anymore. You can't. It's more than that. Josh Allen's been having turnover issues, interception issues. And what's also bugging me is people looking at Trevor Lawrence's stats through his first few years and Mac Jones's stats for his first few years and saying how one's being protected and one isn't. Trevor Lawrence is on a talented team and had to suffer with Urban fucking Meyer for the first year of his career. Mac Jones, yes, he led us to the playoffs in his rookie year. But he has not. But it feels like ever since he got hurt early last year, he has not been the same. And the Patriots are just not good enough around him. I don't know. But with that being said, as you can see, here's the slate of games for this week. A bunch of divisional matchups. You have Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. Which both of those games, if you're a Grossi fan and you've been watching the saga. Oh my God, the lore. You also have Jaguars, Titans, Bills, Jets, Lions, Bears, Commies, Giants, and then Rams, Seahawks as far as divisional matchups go. But you also have a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, the Eagles against the Chiefs. And if I'm a team like the Ravens, the Jags, the Dolphins, etc., you want the Eagles to win this game because it's going to help you. It's going to put, depending on how some of the other teams play this week and who wins and loses, it puts the Chiefs on the same amount of losses as some of these other teams, and it's going to make things even crazier moving forward in terms of the playoff bracket. So
yes.
yeah, this
I wanna
shit's
talk
gonna
about my
get
Ravens for a little bit.
wild.
Specifically, we have a very hard schedule coming in. And we also got breaking news coming in with the MLB side. The NL Manager of the Year has been revealed. It is going to be Skip Shoemaker of the Marlins winning the award.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That was to be expected.
Okay, so let's take a look at the. All right, never mind. So let's move on to college football. Oh
Yeah,
my God. We were hit with a bombshell during
a few
the
of them, to be honest with you.
Michigan. We have a problem.
Yeah, this is gonna. I kind of want. If Red was on here, that would be nice. Would have been nice because of the fact because he's been like because he's been talking about this and stuff and whatnot. But like I just what the fuck because this is gonna turn into a shit show real fast. This is gonna be just this is gonna be nasty for sure. Yeah, that's no. Yes, that's okay. There you go. So we look at the schedule, just a whole lot of MAC action up here at the top. Nothing really to talk about here. And then Saturday, but then you look at Saturday, Bama gets Chattanooga, so nothing to expect there. Michigan has Maryland. Ole Miss plays UL Monroe. Penn State plays Rutgers. Louisville plays Miami. So a lot of shit here at the top of the board that you really don't need to worry about. It kind of looks like Oklahoma against BYU, Tulane against FAU, and whatnot. Texas A&M against Abilene Christian. Speaking of which, Texas A&M Jimbo has been fired. And Jesus Christ, the amount of money that man's going to get paid off this buyout. That's insane. That's a lot of money. I think over 70 million off the buyout. Like, what the fuck? I don't have it on hand, but what the fuck, man? Yeesh. Okay, I see Valor's muted and Sarah's still here. Cool.
Yeah, I'm chill. Sorry,
I know. That's fine. But yeah, as Saturday will roll along, Utah plays Arizona. So there's a matchup to watch. Both are ranked. Georgia gets Tennessee. Tennessee, for the love of God, can you please knock off the Bulldogs? I know it's not going to happen, but come on, man, please. Notre Dame gets Wake Forest.
Unfortunately, Arrogant's fine name is on Dina. You're gonna watch him obliterate Tennessee.
I mean, Tennessee did play bad, but I will say against Mizzou. But I will say Georgia has played very, very bad on the road this year, and all I'm going to say is just take a look at the game against Auburn.
Yeah.
They looked like they were playing down the competition.
Pretty much. Oh, Valor said, sorry about that. I got a call from Mama Valor. She says hi. Hi. Hello.
She's probably not watching because she's on the road right now, but...
Yes. Yeah. So Iowa gets Illinois, North Carolina gets Clemson. So there's that. You got USC against UCLA, so there's some rivalry games right there. Baylor against TCU. Ohio State gets Minnesota, so there's a free win. Oregon plays Arizona State. Let's go. Oklahoma State gets Houston. Florida State gets North Alabama. We get the Battle of Kansas. Yeah. We have the Battle of Kansas this week. Washington gets the Beavers. Missouri gets Florida.
Oh my God! This
State gets Georgia State. So I don't think there's gonna be a lot to really pay attention to this week.
Yeah.
In terms of games.
Anyway, I think we should probably move on to
who's ready for Penn State and Rutgers to be absolute sickos.
Oh my God, no, that better not be true.
But if we want, real quick,
goes into the fourth quarter.
So real quick though, I do want to look at next week because we won't be on the air next week because we're doing every other week. Yeah, but next week is looking wild, man. Look at Friday night, Oregon against Oregon State, the Civil War. Penn State against Michigan
Friday,
State,
folks.
versus Texas Tech. Yep, indeed. Missouri gets Arkansas, and then on Saturday, the Iron Bowl. Alabama against
Rivalry
Auburn.
week.
Louisville gets Kentucky. Utah gets Colorado.
Arizona
Kansas
Civil
gets
War.
Cincinnati.
North Carolina Civil War.
Arizona gets Arizona State. North Carolina, NC State. Pitt, Duke. Kansas State, Ohio State.
Out of
Ohio
Virginia,
State.
too.
Sorry, my bad. We get Virginia on Virginia violence. Syracuse against Wake. Baylor, West Virginia. Ohio State and Michigan. Oh Lord, that's gonna be.
Especially
If
after the
Michigan
Harbaugh
beats
stuff
Ohio
came out,
State,
that's gonna
I
be
swear to God,
spicy.
that'd
Because
be
whoever
funny.
loses that game is not making the college football playoff.
Yeah, no.
Not
If
necessarily.
well, I mean, I saw something this week about like if Oregon wins out, if Texas wins out, if Florida State stays undefeated and wins out, if some other teams win out at the top, somebody's gonna get fucked over. Florida State might be the one to get fucked over because of how bad the rest of the ACC is, kind of, sort of. So they
Yeah, they might
need
get screwed and get
Michigan to
replaced by
lose.
Oregon,
They
potentially.
need like Michigan to lose and stuff like that. LSU gets Texas
Yeah, but
A&M,
whoever
Indiana gets
Washington
Purdue,
has
UConn and
in front
Mass.
of them.
You got a bunch of other lower rank. You got Tennessee against Vanderbilt.
Washington State, Florida State,
Coastal Carolina against James
Florida,
Madison. Hey,
Georgia Tech.
NCAA, let James Madison play a fucking bowl game, you fucking cunts.
No, fuck
Jesus. Florida State,
Jesus
Florida,
Christ.
Notre Dame,
Cowards for
Stanford,
that.
Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina. So we got next week's gonna be
You're
a
too busy.
wild ass
All right.
fucking schedule.
So
Yeah.
now we must move on to the MLB. Because since
Yep.
we went in the air, we have ourselves a new World Series champion.
I'm gonna say before we
New MLB World Series champion, the Texas fucking Rangers. Your
congratulations.
legacy of
Damn.
failure
On it.
has finally come to an end.
Can y'all
Now-
hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we hear you.
I was gonna say I was looking on TikTok because we know Bleacher Report does Gridiron Heights. The newest Gridiron Heights is a spoof off of Five Nights at Freddy's.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ. So some news has trickled in about free agents declining qualifying offers. Shohei Ohtani declined his, along with Cody
Hader.
Bellinger, Josh Hader, Blake Snell, Aaron Nola, Sonny Gray, and Matt Chapman. So there's that. I'm looking on ESPN. As well as Giancarlo Stanton's agent responds to Brian Cashman and warns free agents from considering the Yankees. And apparently, of course, the clip that they have on this article is from First Take, in which the headline says, Yankees GM Giancarlo Stanton likely to get hurt again in 2024. Stanton injured his hamstring the past season and suffered Achilles injuries in 2022. So that was what Stanton's agent was clapping back at. And at the GM meetings, and I heard this on the radio when I was going down to Connecticut for an independent wrestling show last week. On the radio, I was listening to ESPN on the radio in Connecticut, and they were talking about some of the stuff that Cashman was saying. I think that the team's owner was saying as well about the team and how pushing back against people saying that they're analytically driven and all this other stuff. You guys, you suck. The Yankees suck, and paying all these I don't feel bad for them, mostly because I'm a Red Sox fan,
Like,
but
you got
also
Aaron
because
Judge
you did this
and
to
Ju-
yourselves.
And Garrett Cole. You got nothing else.
Pretty much.
And speaking of which, we gotta talk.
So I'm
we're
reading
still
this
waiting for the
article.
Yankees.
You know what's the fucked shit, right? Because Yankees fans want to get Yamamoto from Japan. Giancarlo
But
Stanton
apparently-
and Yamamoto. I don't know what the guy's first name is, or well, I don't even
Has
want
the
to try to
same
pronounce
agent.
it. They have the same agent. Congratulations, Cashman. You just completely fucked you and Hal's off-season plans.
Yep.
How does this fucking have a job?
But yeah, so look at this article. His agent had said, I read the context of the entire interview. I think it's a good reminder for all free agents considering signing in New York, both foreign and domestic, that to play for that team, you got to be made of Teflon, both mentally and physically, because you can never let your guard down even in the off season. But Stan is 34. Holy shit. It does not feel like it was that long ago that he was in Miami. Like, God, like, bro, how, Stan has fallen so fucking far since he came to New York, largely because of injuries and shit. Yep. Oh, so it's Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Um.
He's gonna be the number one.
Guy. Cashman had said last Tuesday, highlighted by his explanation of multiple failed trades and his assertion that the Yankees front office is, quote, pretty fucking good. Yeah, right. Cashman also specifically mentioned several Yankees players who were sidelined by injuries, including Stanton, who missed 61 games because of a hamstring injury. We try to limit the time he's down, but I'm not going to tell you he's going to play every game because he's not. He's going to wind up getting hurt again, most likely, because that less likely than not, because it seems to be part of his game. Cashman, see, here's the thing: is George Steinbrenner would have fired everybody on this team and traded half the roster 15 times over by now. Kyle Steinbrenner fucking sucks. And I'm allowed to say that as a Red Sox fan because my team's ownership kind of sucks.
The kids
sucks worse.
the kids, the Steinbrenner kids are not like their dad. They're both
and that's how it is for a lot of teams. Is like you look at Mike Ilitch's son, Chris, and some other others as well. And it makes me wonder now that the Padres owner has passed away, if he's got any kids with the team and what they're going to do with the team. Because for that exact thing.
Same situation with the Orioles. The rumor going around is that John Angelos, the son who technically runs the team, the rumor is he wants to sell.
Well, that's been a rumor for months, and I think MLB and the city is kind of saying, no, fuck you, that's not going to happen. But the big question is, will they spend on their team? Will you do the thing that that other teams like the Rays have not been doing to supplement your young stars? Because Gunnar Henderson won Rookie of the Year. Him and Corbin Carroll are both won unanimous Rookie of the Year for their respective leagues. You need to spend. And I understand that it's burned you before, but your problem, I know the playoffs was pitching, and John Flaherty was not it. So now you have got to spend, and if you're going, or you're going to be in a similar situation where because
Shane Bieber or Corbin Burns as a trade target.
I mean, it's potentially. I mean, we'll see.
And the rumor is that they're maybe trying to bring Josh Hader back home to Baltimore because he was born right here in Anne Arundel County, where I'm based in.
I could see that. I saw something, I think earlier this week or last week, where the White Sox are planning on shedding payroll and have made everybody except for Dylan Cease and I think Luis Robert available. Or something like that.
They need to trade Cease. He has the most value out of every one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hold on. I gotta jump to Twitter and oh god damn it! I knocked my mic over. I'm gonna jump to Twitter real quick and find this because hold on. Chicago White Sox.
Okay, so they just released the voting for the NL side. Holy crap! This was a hot mess. Because Craig Counsell placed second in voting, despite getting less first place votes than Brian Snitker. And we all know what Craig Counsell did.
Yeah.
Imploded, and now he's a Cubs manager. Because I expect the Milwaukee Brewers to trade anything with value this offseason. Because they're blowing up. It's pretty much inevitable what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Orioles potentially try to snag a package deal for both Burns and maybe Devin Williams. I'm not sure. Because we don't have a closer right
hold
now.
on. I'm trying to find this.
Until 2025. I mean, you could go closer by committee with Yenny or Cano and then another guy, but who the heck's going to be your starter position? You have Bradish, who is your ace. You have G-Rod, who is decent. You have Kramer, who is decent. And then who the heck's going to fill up the fourth and fifth roles? DL Hall, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Hold on. So Tim Anderson got his club. So Tim Anderson's club option got declined, so he's not coming back.
He's a free agent.
Yep. I'm trying
And
to
the
find.
rumor
I know I've
is
seen
that
something
the
on it.
Angels are the team trying to go sign him.
Come on.
All right. So
Trying to
let's talk
find
about some of
it.
the big name free agents and where do we think they all go?
Yeah, you run that
Because
one.
rumor has it that Ohtani's apparently going to decide after Thanksgiving, reportedly first week of December. And there are quite a few teams on him. Rumor has it the favorites right now are Texas, LA, San Francisco, and there's rumors that Atlanta and Boston are in the mix.
Ah! Yeah, I
if
hope
he
so.
goes to Atlanta, oh
Who?
God.
Wait,
If
who?
he goes to us,
For
oh my
Atlanta.
god, oh my, oh.
If he
By
goes
the
to
way,
the Dodgers, that team's winning the NL.
Yeah, I do want to mention with the White Sox as well. Jason Benetti, who had done veteran announcer for the White Sox. He's leaving for Detroit, which people were not happy about because it's like why is he going? Like
Wait. Who's
and all
leaving
that.
from the Red Sox?
Jason Benetti, who was announcer
White
for them.
Sox.
So he's going to
Play
Detroit.
by play or
That
radio?
happened back on November 9th. So there's that.
Right. So, okay, let's talk about some of the free agent predictions. So we'll start off with
Yep.
Shohei. Where do you guys think that who will get Ohtani's rights in 2024? Remember, he's basically a hitter just for this season.
Yeah.
He's still going to
Yeah, I remember hearing on the radio something about like Cashman
Detroit.
talking about like, or them talking about what would happen, like would the Yankees try and go for him, and how Cashman kind of responded to that. It's just a lot of weird,
Well,
weird shit.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna break in here because this was announced 4 hours ago by the Padres. With profound sadness, the Padres
we
announced,
covered that. We covered that earlier.
Yeah. We
covered that
did
at
a
the beginning of the
30-second
show.
moment of silence for that.
I did not even.
So-
Okay, I wasn't on for that.
And speaking
So
of
that
Padres,
makes me-
they're
that
going
makes
to go on
me
a fire
wonder-
sale too.
That makes
In a
me
way, yeah.
wonder what
Soto's going to get moved. The
with
question is
Seidler
where.
passing away. That makes me wonder what how the Padres
They're going
plans
to
change.
shed payroll.
Are they
If we
going to?
learned
Well,
the
we
past
all knew
trends
they were
with
going to shed
the Yankees
payroll.
and Tigers.
Listen, we all knew they were going to shed payroll, but now it's passing away, and probably his kid taking over.
It's all but guaranteed it's going to
It
happen.
makes you realize. It makes you wonder how much of a fire sale are they going to have? I mean, we all knew they were going to have a fire sale.
We all know
but are they
probably going to move.
Are they going to go Oakland A's type fire sale?
This is very
So Cal
interesting to
Quantrill
see.
got designated for assignment by the Guardians.
So I smell a blow up from them in a minute too.
Shohei Ohtani has declined the qualifying offer.
To no one's surprise, he got stuck in the hell that is
Josh
Anaheim.
and Blake Snell have declined qualifying offers. Matt Chapman has declined qualifying offer. Cody Bellinger has declined the offer. Aaron Nola has declined the qualifying offer.
Because the rumor has it, Aaron Nola's projected favorite is not the Phillies. Rather, it's St. Louis or the Braves.
And Sonny Gray has also declined the qualifying offer.
Sonny Gray is also an underrated guy.
Other news today from the MLB transaction tracker on Twitter. The Tigers have signed Bleeg Madras to a minor league contract. What else do we have? We also have the Rockies signed Geoff Hartlieb to a minor league contract. Mike Ford has been DFA'd by the Mariners. Dominic Smith. The Nationals have DFA'd both Dominic Smith and Corey Abbott. So it looks like
Yeah, it kind of seems like right now there's a lot of just
Dominic Smith, you are
stuff.
returning to the New York Mets, is what I say to that. The Braves have designated Yanni Chirinos for assignment. The Braves have claimed Penn Murphy off waivers from the Mets. And the Phillies have acquired Hendry Mendez and Robert Moore from the Brewers in exchange for Oliver Dunn.
Oh, the Tigers had got Mark Canha from the Brewers for Blake Holub during the GM meetings.
Mhm.
Rangers announced that Andrew Heaney exercised his player option. Jose Leclerc had his option picked up. Peter Bendix left the Rays GM job to go become head of baseball ops for the Mariners. Stephen Vogt got hired as the Guardians' new GM or manager, sorry, to replace Francona. Council ended up, again, as we said, going to the Cubs. David Ross is sort of taking the high road on that. Yankees bench coach Carl Mendoza as the new Mets manager. Council actually became the highest paid manager ever, 5 years, $40 million. There's no other manager in baseball earning more than $4.5 million a year. So five for 40 is like what? Fuck, now I gotta do math here. Hold on. 40 divided by 5. So that's like 8 mil a year. Holy shit. And from Nightingale he had posted an article from USA saying where the tweet says, "This is why Craig Counsell thought it was important to set a new standard. Just an embarrassment. Major League Baseball managers are grossly underpaid." Well, yeah, fair point. It was twice as much as the Brewers offered to retain him. GM Mike Elias of the Orioles won Executive of the Year. Ron Washington became the new Angels coach. So apparently, from Bobby Nightingale, the Twins are lowering payroll for next year after a team record 155 mil this past year. I'm just reading off Nightingale tweets. Scott Boras said that he wants the World Series moved to a neutral site. Fuck that! And the amateur draft moved away from the All-Star weekend. And also pointed out the Rangers used free agent acquisitions to win the World Series, imploring owners to be bold. 7 teams have told Boras they're looking for 2 starting pitchers in a thin market. Oh God. Boras met with Mets boss David Stearns about Pete Alonso and are open to an extension. With the quote of, "When it comes to the polar bear, we are not in hibernation." Okay. No extension talks yet for Astro stars Altuve and Bregman. Mind you, a lot of this is from last week, but this is going as the GM meeting is going on. But Boras also said apparently that he believes that the pitch clock has led to a rash of injuries among starting pitchers. No, I mean, maybe there's some correlation to that, and I would imagine there's some baseball YouTubers that will make a video on it at some point, but I just don't see that, necessarily speaking. But yeah, Ron Washington got a 3-year Washington had signed a 3-year deal with Atlanta previously, but he signs a 2-year deal to become the manager for the Angels. The first black manager hired in MLB since Dusty Baker with the Astros. Pat Murphy's interviewing with the Brewers for the manager. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So as I said before, Gunnar Henderson and Corbin Carroll were the rookies of the year, with this being the 5th time that they were unanimous winners. And then as of today, there's just been a bunch of minor league shit going on. I couldn't find the thing about the White Sox, but in looking and having searched it on Twitter and trying to find it, I had seen some stuff from like White Sox accounts, or I guess like reporting accounts and stuff saying that Cease might also be traded. So I have no fucking clue. But we'll see. We'll see in that regard. But yeah, so
okay. So let's go back to some free agency predictions. So I brought up Ohtani. I have a feeling he's going to go to either Texas or the Dodgers. It's pretty much one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we move on to our next pitchers. Let's go with Aaron Nola. Where do you think he ends up?
It feels like it partially feels like it's a little early to say, but then again, MLE is almost an all year long thing.
Yeah,
just
we all
because
know
of the
what's
fact
happening.
because of
once Ohtani signs, the dominoes are going to start to fall.
Pretty much.
Similar to what happened in 2020. Okay. I have a feeling because there's a good chance but Blake Snell is probably going somewhere else.
Hmm.
Maybe he goes to Atlanta. Maybe he goes to the Cardinals. Because he seems like a guy the Cardinals would sign. Okay. Now, my question is for the Orioles. Do you sign a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez, who was an Oriole in the past? Or we'll see what happens. I think this is pretty much speculation, so I think we should move on to the next topic.
Something like that, yeah.
And our next topic, let me pull it up.
So,
it's the NHL. So, we have to bring this up. San Jose and Edmonton. Yeah.
Well, San Jose defeated the Flyers first before beating Edmonton.
Yeah. And then Edmonton fired their head coach. Which is just Edmonton. They won their first game with the new one, but still.
Oh yeah. So Edmonton is
the 304 Capitals. So let's pull up the standings. To know what surprised Boston, even though they lost Bergeron and Krejci to retirement, they look good as ever.
Edmonton,
they've only taken one regulation loss all season so far, so they're still at the top. Zadorov from Ottawa wants to trade out of there, and
Calgary.
I think
he's in Calgary.
Calgary. Sorry, we'll get to them.
Then we got Florida second, not shocked. Looks like cup hangovers not really affecting them.
Not yet, at least.
The Wings being there.
Third.
Well, they've been getting this thing that Edmonton has been looking to try to find for a while called depth scoring, and everybody
also goalie help because Jack Campbell got sent to the fucking eight.
I will say.
For most Leaf fans, we warned you. We warned you about Jack Campbell. We told you he's streaky as hell.
I was gonna say, whatchamacallit, with Florida, it sounds like they're getting both Ekblad and Montour back to help their reinforcements out.
Already scary.
And
get stronger.
I'm gonna say Florida, they are been very, very good with their depth scoring. Kachuk has been very quiet to start the year. So is Verhaeghe.
Yeah, people are kind of pissed about that. That Kachuk hasn't been doing better.
So they're getting this thing called depth scoring.
Hey, breaking news! AL Manager of the Year. It's Brandon Hyde. Let's go.
Brandon Hyde, who?
From the Orioles, I believe.
Yup.
So we look at the Metro now, and Rangers are at the top. Go figure. Hurricanes, Caps.
The Capitals is the haunt team there.
Caps, Devs. Well, the Flyers are doing better than the Penguins, Islanders, and then the
Devils
Jackets
have their top two centers out. However, it sounds like that Jack Hughes will return Saturday versus the Rangers.
Yeah. The weird thing about the Capitals is that why are they there? Mainly because Charlie Lindgren has been pretty good with Kemper out.
Something like that, yeah. Even though, yeah. So then we go to the Central.
Start, but he's inching so closely to getting the record. He's 69 goals away, by the way.
Nice.
So realistically, he could get it in 2 or 3 seasons' time.
Yeah. Looking at the Central.
But the bad news with the Capitals is that Backstrom likely played his final game in the NHL. So.
Yeah, I had seen something on that. Actually, let me scroll back through the
Yeah, my thing about them is your jersey.
I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about the passings. There was actually 2 that I missed, which is my bad. Or it was at least 1. I think there was another one that I missed as well. I am looking.
Roman Chick-Man.
Roman, yeah, I caught that one.
He was a key part of the Flyers in the early 2000s when the Flyers were pretty much a Stanley
Cup contender. So there might have been one that I missed, but there might have been another one that I missed, but the one that I did miss was off-road racing star Kyle LeDuc, brother of Monster Jam driver Todd LeDuc, passed away due to cancer. So Fuck cancer. All my
Fuck
homies
cancer.
hate cancer.
All right, so now we move on to the discussion.
Hilariously though, we did not in the NFL section. We did not mention the fact that the Raiders have fired McDaniels and Ziegler. So
yeah, they fired
Raiders,
them, and all of a sudden
may
the
this
Raiders
be
are
a
a lot
lesson.
better.
Stop skinning the Patriots.
And the Patriots are a sinking ship already.
Exactly, but everybody's been trying to do that.
Bottom of the goddamn ocean.
Like the thing is, like the only team that really got it right was with Brian Flores in Miami for a hot second, and then that kind of went bad.
And now the Steelers have the last
Raiders, stop. But the good thing is that Antonio Pierce has them winning back-to-back games. Granted, I think they played both New York teams. So,
Yes.
So yeah, but I mean, look, anything, there's that. So just
while we're here on hockey, I will say there are 9 games on the docket for tonight. Coming up at 7:00, we have 4 games: Bruins, Sabres in Buffalo, Penguins, Jackets in Columbus, Flames, Canadiens in Montreal, Vegas, and Washington from
Washington.
Washington.
You're going to die. I'm scared of Vegas.
At 8 p.m., we have 4 games. We have the Devils in Winnipeg, Arizona in Dallas. The first game of a doubleheader on the paywall, the Anaheim Ducks will take on the Nashville Predators in Nashville, and the Tampa Bay Lightning in St. Louis. And then at 10:30 tonight, the second game of a doubleheader on the paywall, in which ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
In which all optimism dies, San Jose edition again. San Jose is home this time. However, they're taking on the 9-4-1 Florida Panthers.
Oof.
And speaking of San Jose, we now look at the Pacific, and Jesus Christ, Vancouver might actually be good. Also, Anaheim. So yeah, and then Oilers all the way down here.
Vegas, I'm scared of though. Vegas is just as scary as they were last year.
So the other thing we didn't mention in the NFL section, and this came out today, Cowboys linebacker Leighton Vander Esch is out for the remainder of the season, and his career is in question due to a neck injury, which Jerry Jones announced on a radio show today. Look, I don't feel bad for Cowboys fans, but I do feel bad for Leighton because when he got drafted, he was really good, and he's been really good for the Cowboys. His problem has been he's had some injury problems, and it just sucks to see neck injuries end people's careers. I mean, we're still waiting for Big E to come back in WWE, so so there's that, and also from baseball as well. There will be the vote to move the A's is going to be
Thursday.
Is going to be it's Thursday. And they need a 75% majority vote for it to happen. Though Oakland mayor
probably going to get it.
However, Oakland's mayor sent letters to 15 MLB owners asking them to deny the move. And shout out to Fireball for this. They posted a screenshot of part of the article that says, quote, Theo wrote that Oakland has procured $428 million of public funding for offsite infrastructure and figured that is in addition to approximately $500 million. That adds up to $928 million in on-site infrastructure the city and county will contribute through tax increment funding. So basically, fucking everybody over. The proposed funding assistance for a new stadium development, that Theo wrote, is thus nearly triple the $380 million the A's have reportedly secured in Vegas for a much smaller stadium project. There is a clear path to build a state-of-the-art new ballpark here in Oakland, and to do so just as expeditiously, if not more so, than in Vegas. Because remember, with Vegas, the last we knew was that they were going to have to tear down something on the strip or just off the strip.
Spoiler,
to put the new stadium in place. So it's going to take a miracle and a half for this to happen. And I hope it does because the A's fans deserve so much better. But I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to fucking vote it through. Manfred's probably going to threaten some people to make it happen. because they want the Vegas money, and it's bullshit. And it's also hilarious how over in USF Sports Ball, which by the way, go to the Your Name Tree subreddit if you want to know what the fuck I'm talking about and join in on the competition. It's not too late. If you start winning, start getting points, you might be able to make playoffs. But anyway, it's funny how we had the A's as a theme last week and the Raiders as a theme this week because and whatever's for me making. But the point of the matter is the A's deserve so much, or the A's fan base deserves so much better. And I just, I don't know. I don't know. I do hope that this gets pushed through, that this gets voted down, but I don't think it's going to happen.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic here. We're going into the NBA here. We got two things going on. We have the in-season tournament, which is new this season.
Yep.
Also, what the hell are those courts? And then
I mean, some of them look good. Some of them look trash, I will admit.
All right. The big bombshell this season is that James Harden has been traded to the Los Angeles Clippers.
We will get to that. I'm trying to get the NBA standings loaded up, but the NBA website's being slow as hell.
I mean, yeah, it's because they're running on the head of the big-sized brain of LeBron James.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Yeah, that's my valor moment.
Fuck it, we'll go to ESPN then. Fuck it. Good. Go to here, go to here, go to here. So this is what the East is looking like right now. Philly's running the show. Boston's right there with them. Then you have Indy, Miami, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. With Orlando, New York, Brooklyn, and Toronto being in the play-in spots. Cleveland, Chicago, Charlotte, Washington, and Detroit on the outside looking in. And speaking of Chicago, it came out today that there are teams interested, in potentially trading for Zach LaVine. Let me pull this up on Twitter's. So from Shams, NBA teams are probing the availability of Bulls two-time All-Star Zach LaVine, and there is increased openness from both sides about exploring a trade. With the Heat, Lakers, and Sixers expected to consider a trade, Daniel Greenberg says LaVine's contract with the Bulls includes a 15% trade kicker, which means Zach's salary would increase by 15% if he is traded and would be paid by the Bulls. And from Legion Hoops, Lakers insider believes teams will target one of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, or Alex Caruso. Yeah, of course, you could have kept Caruso instead of signing THT and all that, but whatever. On the West side, Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, Houston, Oklahoma City, and Sacramento are your top six. Golden State, LA, Phoenix, and New Orleans are in the play-in spots with the Clippers, Blazers, Spurs, Jazz, and Grizzlies on the back end. The Grizzlies have not been good. Granted, part of that I think is because of Ja being out because of suspension, but also Jesus Christ. The Clippers have lost three or four straight since the Harden trade, which is nuts. Wemby has looked really good so far. But yeah, Minnesota and Houston being this good, both on 6-game winning streaks. The second and third longest streaks, with Philly having the longest at 8 wins, is neat. And then you look at the in-season tournament right now. Group A has Philly, Indiana. Philly is 1, Indy 1. Atlanta hasn't played an in-season tournament game yet. Cleveland, Detroit both lost theirs. Miami, Charlotte, and Milwaukee won their in-season tournament games. Wizards have lost both of theirs so far. Knicks lost one. The Celtics are 1-0. The Nets are 1-1. Orlando and the Raptors have not yet played one. And the Bulls lost theirs so far. And then you can see the rest. I mean, the in-season tournament thing it's interesting. Ben Simmons has nerve impingement in his back from an MRI. Jesus Christ. And also, as you can see right here, ESPN Bet is launching soon, which means over on Twitter, and Cole Adams pointed this out, all of these Sports Nation accounts have been transitioned into ESPN Bet. So, an end of an era. Sports Nation, we will miss you.
Yep. Thank you for your service.
Real quick, I need to rant because I saw NBA Central post this. And so this comes from Monty McCutcheon, the NBA's head of referee development and training, saying that unchecked taunting often escalates to more passionate play and physicality, with the quote reading, "What we do know historically is that taunting gone unchecked leads to altercations. It leads to an increase in physicality. It leads to more, to put kindly, passionate play." Bitch, are you for real right now? Because this has been a part of the... It's the NBA going down the same route as the NFL, taking the fun out of the game and trying to police taunting. When a lot of this shit is not taunting, it's you guys having fragile fucking egos. Again, chiseled.
Oh, fuck wrong with you, stupid?
I don't understand. And y'all want to say it's because you're trying to be role models for the kids. The kids fucking love when these guys, like, bro, have you seen kids these days? Have you seen how much shit talk? How much kids shit talk each other all the time? It's like, bro, no. Like, Giannis got thrown out of a game recently, I think, for just staring at somebody. Like, what?
It's
I mean,
literally
Josh
just
Allen
as
got a
joke as
big
the
ass fine for
NFL's
pointing
rule.
at somebody. Like at this, like there is trying to police taunting, and then there's just being a bunch of fucking assholes. Fuck off. Stop being a bunch of fucking idiots with this shit. Like it's just this.
Excuse me.
This.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I am having an aneurysm even trying to comprehend what this even was.
I don't understand, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so
shit-
weird.
It's just
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon.
What?
you know.
Officiating has become a joke in most of the sports.
Like,
now.
and some of the time, I don't even think it's because of the officials. It's because of the leagues mandating this shit. But just like we've seen in the NFL, with a lot of their penalties, is you don't know what to call and what not to call because everybody calls everything different. So somebody's gonna call something one way, and then they're not. Somebody else will not call that, or they'll call it a different way, and it's insane. Simplify across the board. Simplify the rules, but more importantly, stop trying to police taunting. Now, yes, if a fight breaks out, if shit fucking happens, it hits the fan, fine. But these are grown ass fucking adults, fussed in their ass, and they're gonna get physical. They're gonna play with passion. They're gonna like, bro. What the fuck? Why? I don't understand what the hell the problem is here, other than people having just fragile fucking egos. You know?
Right.
It's just... It's just... You know? It's just... All right, Maki, tell everybody how you feel about all these problems.
Fuck you!
I had to. So, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, man. It really is.
All right. Speaking of which,
so I guess we should also bring it up what the Harden trade to the Clippers. Yes.
Let's pull up
pretty
the
much.
trade details.
Yeah, so we'll dive into that. So the Sixers sent Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philippe Petrusev to the Clippers for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, a 2028 unprotected first, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, and an additional first-round
29?
pick from who else? The Oklahoma City Thunder.
The
The
Thunder.
Clippers are sending a 2027 first-round pick swap to OKC, clearing the way for the Thunder to move a protected 2026 first-round pick to the Sixers. The Clippers are sending 2024 and 2029 second-round picks to the Sixers in this deal as well. The Sixers waived guard Danny Green to make room for it. The Sixers are bringing back expiring contracts to keep them on track to potentially have as much as $50 to $65 million in cap space next summer. But the problem for the Clippers is you have Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, and PG all on the same team. And you've lost every game so far since Harden's come on. And it's legit insane. And Legend of Winning made a video about this like yesterday, and he detailed it, is that the Clippers are going after the name brands, and they're not going after what they need. And if they don't do well this year, you're blowing it up. You actually have to fucking blow it up.
All right, I'm taking a look here because we're already about 10 games into the season.
Okay. Because I want to get to a topic.
The
after
NBA.
Hold on.
Detroit is still ass. Washington is still ass. Memphis without Mr. Gun Ja Morant is 2-8. It's like we fucking knew that was going to happen.
Which is weird because in the last couple of seasons they've been good without when Ja's not been around at times. Maybe I don't know.
No, because Ja was still playing. He wasn't suspended during.
No, I know that, but I mean, like
year.
in games where Ja was out, they were winning a lot. So I don't know, but
San Antonio's 3-7. That's to be expected. Utah is 3-7. They're starting off slow. However, they did start off slow last year. Clippers are 3-6. Portland's 3-6. Charlotte's 3-6. Chicago's 4-7, and the Pelicans are 4-6. That's currently your top 10 odds. Phoenix is also in the lottery. So is Cleveland, New York, Toronto.
Some of those teams are just in the lottery just because they're in the play-in right now.
Well, yeah, they're in the play-ins, but
yeah. So
basically, once you get to Chicago, is where I'd say that's where that.
So, courtesy of Basketball Reference, this is where things are at right now for the Clippers in terms of contracts. So, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have player options for the exact same amount of money. Holy shit. Harden has a player option as well. And then Russ's contract ends after next year. This is what you're looking at right now. Like, you could lose. So, if Paul George and Kawhi both pick out their player options next year, they could be gone after next year for nothing. Harden could be gone for not. Harden will probably be gone after this year, and people are saying that Harden could be out of the league after this year because teams just are not going to want to deal with his shit. Like Harden was legit saying, like he's the system, and even if that's a quote taken out of context, it's still a quote. You know.
James, all I have to say to you is konnichiwa.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
That video.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic.
No, I don't think we do.
Wrestling has been pretty good this year, and we got 2 pay-per-views coming up. WWE is going to be coming up on Saturday. AEW is going to present Full Gear, and then a week from Saturday, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we have Survivor Series. WWE is going to bring Survivor Series War Games.
Live from Chicago.
We got some good stuff cooking for both shows.
From Chicago, you say?
Yes. We're going to start off with
and somebody's 90-day compete clause is basically going to be up.
Okay, yeah. So let's have a conversation about that because I've seen some speculation that CM Punk could be the devil right now, like that's been fucking with MJF lately. And to be fair, I had seen one tweet that had his whole like list of things that it lines up in a way. However, you would have to be like that. Like Punk was fired publicly, so unless that whole thing was a work, which I doubt,
unless it was a work,
I don't see him going straight
somehow
back there.
blackmailed
Unless,
Tony
because
Khan.
if he does, Tony Khan, like we know you're the biggest mark in wrestling. You're literally a fanboy who has all the money in the
fucking mark.
Hang on, I
Did I
got the
download
clip.
the
Let me play it.
I no, hold on. Did I put the clip in here? I don't think I did. I
I know
have the clip
myself bad.
downloaded.
You fucking mark!
There.
There you go. So there's that.
Okay.
Um,
So let's go for the
Sporting
card
Logic, he
here.
said, if I'm the Bulls, I'm calling the Thunder, and I'm trying to get Josh Kiddey for Zach Levine. But anyway, so
So we got a pretty good big card for 9 matches currently announced for Full Gear.
yeah,
So we already got a 0-hour match. MJF and a mystery partner will defend the tag team, the Ring of Honor World Tag Titles against the Guns of Bullet Club Gold. Which I'm not sure who the mystery partner is going to be. Maybe it's Samoa Joe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's gonna be. No, we'll see. But not to cut you off on that, but I want to, because one of the things that came out of Crown Jewel, aside from Kairi Sane coming back, which by the way, Bailey, Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and now Asuka all on the same team for Damage Control. We know where this is headed. With Survivor Series coming up, there's going to be a women's match. I would think the other side is going to be.
That's all but guaranteed. We're going to see.
The rumor has it that Becky will be on the other side with Charlotte, Shotzi, and Bianca. Although I'm wondering because and whatnot, but as far as one of the other things that came out of Crown Jewel was Logan Paul winning the U.S. title off of Rey Mysterio. Now and then on SmackDown last week, Santos Escobar turned heel on Rey. Now,
this was the all-right Rey Mysterio off TV as he's been dealing with a torn meniscus for the last 3 months. He just got surgery on it today on his right knee. He's going to be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, 60. So this is to write him off. I know people were mad with Logan winning it, and there's already this whole like Logan talking about how he's told not to
fucking the belt, but he did it anyways.
Without getting demonetized.
I already demonetized us by saying the F word.
Yeah.
Which one?
We don't get any money anyway.
Fuck, not the slur. I'm not going to say the slur.
I know what you meant. Well, anyway, so it's like Logan's talking about this whole thing about not having like sex with the belt on. It's a whole thing. But also, he showed up at UFC recently with the belt. He's making other appearances with the belt. He did a whole fucking skit where he was gonna pawn the thing off in a pawn shop, hilariously enough. And the thing with that is you as a wrestler, he's so good, which is so annoying, and he's so hateable for various reasons, which makes him an incredible heel. On his podcast today, he said, maybe he can win the tag titles with Dom. They're both people that everybody loves to hate, and all that. But the thing with Logan having the U.S. title is that title is going to go fucking everywhere, and it's going. And he still has a massive fan base to where he will bring he will bring younger eyes onto WWE because of him holding the title for however long he's got it, and him just being around. Like that's the thing is when he and the Miz faced the Mysterios at Mania 38. I had low expectations going into that match, and then watching it, I'm like, oh my god, Logan might actually be good at this. And then he has the match with Miz at SummerSlam. He has the match with Roman at Crown Jewel last year. Gets hurt in that match. Comes back in the Rumble. Has the insane spot with Ricochet. Jesus Christ.
Mania with Rollins.
Has the Mania match. Has the SummerSlam match with Rollins.
Money in the Bank. He was in Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
That set up Ricochet.
I think they added him to that match just for the star appeal, but he also had his moments.
But that also set up the match with Ricochet at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
him being in Money in the Bank, and then obviously just.
I do want to mention he said on his podcast today that spot where he quote saved Rey Mysterio, where Ray had jumped off the ropes and like Logan had caught him before he could hit his head on the mat. Logan says, quote, "Look, I'm going to come clean because I've seen all these positive headlines, right? Logan saves Rey Mysterio. The Mexican community going crazy. They're praising me, saying I'm sort of a hero. And so I'm like, dang, I'm being recognized for doing something cool. I'll take it. But then I looked at the clip, and upon assessing my performance, while I did think I saved Rey Mysterio, I think I almost killed Rey Mysterio. I think I was too far back for the move, and I think he didn't clear enough ground for the move. That's what happened. Like I was too far back, and he didn't clear enough ground. We both made a mistake, and I had to catch him, and I wasn't not gonna not catch him. So like truthfully, while I like the headlines and I like being gassed up like this, I was just doing my job. Now he could have said nothing about that, and he could have.
That's how you know. That's another way that you know Vince is gone, and he's been told to fuck off by Ari Emanuel and the other people on the TKO board, because you would never have a heel doing a babyface type thing, saying a babyface statement like that, especially on their own podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Logan's podcast, so he's gonna say whatever the fuck he wants.
True.
Oh, okay. You're pretty late there, Billy.
I just got up.
Also, what in the goddamn hell is that fucking profile picture? Jesus Christ.
No.
Get that. Put your face on the screen and get that cringe out of here.
All right, fine.
Have...
Fine. Let me just get a shirt on.
Why the hell do you not have a shirt on in the first place?
Okay.
Because I usually.
So let's talk about what we got for the build-up to
that
War Games
information
here.
is classified.
So right now we
Okay,
have
well.
3 matches confirmed with a 4-funnel way. First match we have was recently we had a match that had a number 1 contendership to face Gunther, and recently the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time against a recently turned babyface Miz.
Miz. It's like saying mid, but Miz.
I could very well see
Miz is
Miz
great.
take the belt off of Gunther.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
I mean,
no, that.
Probably not.
But yeah,
I
no,
don't see
so we
him
have
coming
Gunther,
to-
Miz, Rhea faces Zoe, and then the men's match is Rhodes, Rollins, Uso, and Zayn versus Judgment Day, which of Priest, Balor, Dom, and McDonough. Last night on Raw, though, Cody and Jay faced for the tag titles, and Drew fucking McIntyre has finally turned heel.
He turns heel.
It's about time.
Fires the
This better be the
Claymore,
return
and
of
costs Uso
This
Rhodes
better
the
be the
title.
return of Broken Dreams, motherfuckers. This better be the return.
Yes.
Give us Broken Dreams.
Very much
already.
so.
I would
Out
love
of
to see that team. They teased
time.
us with
So say
Backlash.
goodbye.
So it
Yeah,
looks
so
like
last
Drew's going to
year.
be the 5th member. So
Well,
obviously,
there's a
that-
lot of speculation going on about who the 5th member of Team Rhodes is.
Yeah,
I have
I would
voices
think
in
it's
my
gonna
head. They
Honor
can,
McGregor.
they understand. They talk to me.
Yes,
Yeah,
we know. We
rumor
get it.
has it.
So,
a certain
I was
Randall Keith
texting my
Gordon-
older sister Brianna earlier because I was sending texts to a bunch of family members of Christmas ideas and all this other shit. And I was texting with Brianna earlier, my older sister, one of my 2 older sisters, who's a WWE fan herself. And I told her, Randy has to retire the RKO, right? Because the whole reason why he's been on the shelf, the whole reason why he got surgery is because of his back being fucked up. And what does he land on when he hits the RKO? His back.
Back.
I'm about to say
So-
that means you
I
got to
will
bring
say
back the
this.
punt kick as
Punt,
his
punt,
finisher.
punt.
Now watch him bring back the overdrive. It
The what?
God damn it.
Oh, that's his only
was
finisher.
his finisher when he first. So way back when he first got into WWE and he first got on the main roster,
Like 2002,
he was a
2003.
bland ass babyface and he had that as his finisher. But when he got hurt, they kept him on TV with these segments and whatever that kind of slowly turned him heel over time. So it's a whole thing.
RNN and promo.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyways, I'm surprised that they're not doing anything on SmackDown with a War Games match for the men. Like, I'm surprised they're not doing like Bloodline versus like LA Knight, John Cena, a bunch of people like that.
Well, Cena's
I
going
think-
back to Hollywood now that the strikes are over.
Well, yeah,
and,
the
and all
strike's
that
over,
stuff.
so big
Here's
sad.
Here's the thing. I think they're gonna do a women's match between Damage Control and the rest of the
Well,
group.
yeah,
Oh
everybody
yes,
knows
we
that.
know that.
And
That's
eventually,
gonna
Eventually-
end up being
the
Bailey,
women's match.
Io, Asuka, and Kyrie against Charlotte, Bianca, Shotzi, because Charlotte and Shotzi have been a thing lately,
it's been
Becky is rumored to be the fourth person.
Listen, they
Dakota.
need one more. They need one more because don't forget.
No, that's if they want to do 5-on-5, and I don't.
No,
I think the
yeah,
women's
fuck.
one,
Dakota's still out. I think she's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
out.
Dakota's still out, so they're not going to do 5-on-5 for the. I think it's going to be
For the Rumble.
5-on-5 for the men and 4-on-4 for the women. Though, if you want to make it 5-on-5 for the women, throw Mia Yim and Zelina Vega in there. I think that's the route you can go.
Well, Zelina Vega is
I
not
just
going to be
don't
a
see that
heel.
right
She's
now.
going to be a face.
So you got to throw her with the Charlotte side.
Yeah, she's a face because we all saw the tears she was doing with Escobar.
Well, yeah, which was an incredible sell with the Santos thing. So, yeah. So
Mia Yim, I think, is also a baby face because she's with. What's
Mia's
it
more. I don't know because AJ
With
Styles
the
and the
OC.
Good Brothers and her have kind of been off and on, sort of, kind of. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see. But yeah, so Survivor Series is starting to be pretty interesting.
For his title, because the rumor has.
I think the main. Here's the thing.
Oh, there is a woman that's due back soon from injury. Maybe you bring her back to put her on one of the sides. Liv Morgan.
Liv is rumored to be back sometime soon. If anything, she would show up when Rhea faces Zoe, because Rhea's facing Zoe to defend her title.
Well, hold on. Is she contracted to Raw or SmackDown? Let me look at this.
I have no fucking.
Liv is contracted to Raw.
Yeah, Liv was on Raw, so
yeah, that would be with Rhea. Then.
So, but here's the other thing too is, and I would imagine we're gonna see next week. We'll see more between Raw and SmackDown. But you have all these promos that Shinsuke has been doing. If Punk returns, he would probably be facing Shinsuke based on the promos that we've gotten. Not gonna lie, I think Sheamus and Punk would have hit when Punk was in his prime. Because, look, and I told this to my older sister earlier. What is the point of bringing Punk back to WWE? And Punk threw another teaser up on his Instagram earlier, or whatever the fuck.
Money.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. The only thing you can bring Punk back for is just to pad Roman's stats. That's it. That's all he'd be there for. Nothing else.
But also,
Billy, stop.
No.
Also, I will say, even though
we haven't done ad rule all show. So
I was going to say something.
Punk was even cooking on both of his stints with AEW. He comes with so much
baggage. That's the problem.
Even with Samoa Joe, he was cooking in that match. Although I feel like it's just people that he hasn't gotten along with. Like there's been a bunch of marks.
That's what all there's been a bunch of. There's
been a bunch of marks in that AEW locker room. I will say that I'm not agree with Punk and all that. And I will say, obviously as a trans person, I'm gonna say Punk based for shouting out the protect trans kids.
Yeah, that's one of the only W's that Punk carries anymore. To be honest.
Based for Punk there.
So basically about like Punk's Instagram story, I just think he's doing a little trolling. That's all.
I mean, probably, but
besides, I really don't see him coming back at all, especially with his relationship with Paul Levesque at all.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's the thing.
I will say they're actually on speaking terms, I believe, because I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, because remember, Punk pulled up when there was a Raw show in Chicago earlier in the year, and Punk pulled up and was like chatting with people and kind of making amends, and then Vince told him to fuck off.
Yeah,
and he left.
Before Vince told him to fuck off, he actually had a meeting with Triple H, and they were actually on speaking terms. And I believe I heard it was a good conversation.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if Punk does come back, I will say this: just make him completely heel. That's all.
I mean, no shit.
If he's going up against Roman, he has to be a face.
Yeah.
Well, I think in that case it doesn't matter what he is because people will boo them both.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll boo Roman more because they all hate Roman.
Well, we're all tired of Roman. I'm gonna
Because
switch things up
we all know where we
because
switch up and
today it
immediately.
was announced the Outdoor Lacrosse League, the PLL.
Oh God, the
The
Helvetica
PLL.
League.
No, that you're thinking of the NLL. The
Still, it's
PLL,
lacrosse.
the Premier Lacrosse League, has finally officially announced the home locations of their 8 clubs. So the Atlas Lacrosse Club, you are now the New York Atlas. The Water Dogs Lacrosse Club are now the Philadelphia Water Dogs.
Okay,
The Whip Snakes Lacrosse Club is now the Maryland Whip Snake.
Makes sense. Maryland is a huge place for
Maryland.
The
Maryland.
Archers Lacrosse Club are now the Utah Archers.
Interesting.
The Chaos Lacrosse are now the Carolina Chaos.
Makes sense.
Oh, great. Just giving Carolina another fucking thing to go alongside the Hurricanes.
Oh, cry me a river, bitch.
The Redwoods Lacrosse Club
up, volunteer.
are now the California
That's it,
Redwoods.
You're getting no face game.
Makes sense.
The Cannons Lacrosse Club are now the Boston Cannons.
Makes
And
sense.
the Chrome Lacrosse Club are the only rename. Returning to lacrosse, we have the Denver Outlaws. The Chrome Lacrosse Club have been renamed to the Outlaws, and they are being located in Denver. So the Denver Outlaws are back.
Sarah. Alan, what the fuck did you see?
Look at the play Tage Thompson got injured on. Went straight to the locker room. Not good.
Oh no.
Do I dare? Do I show this? Do I show this? Do I show this? And would we get the stream taken down as a result?
Just
Probably.
Yeah, put it in.
Well, then again,
So the Denver Outlaws, they were a team that were in MLL, the Major League Lacrosse. They had 3 championships. So it's the same logo and everything. The Denver Outlaws have returned to lacrosse, ladies and gentlemen, to outdoor lacrosse. But those are the locations for the teams. So the Atlas will be in New York. Whip Snakes will be in Maryland. I'm not sure where. I'm assuming that means Baltimore. The Cannons are in Boston. I can safely
assume it's probably CFG Bank Arena, most likely.
No, this is outdoors. This is outdoors.
Outdoors, so probably where the Bayhawks play.
The Water Dogs are going to Philly. The Chrome became the Outlaws, and they're going to Denver. The Redwoods are going to California. I'm not sure exactly where in California, but I'd assume probably Northern California because I think that's where the Redwood National Forest is, up by the Bay Area.
I thought
the Archers are heading to Utah. The Chaos are heading to Carolina. But that's PLL news.
Okay, so now we got to talk about. So let's move on and talk about AEW a little bit. So I've moved.
Hang on. There was something. So by the way, the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, they introduced their jersey designs, and the basis of what people are saying about it is women's hockey deserves proper branding and uniforms. These default EASHL jerseys for every team just aren't it.
Play the John.
It's just word marks galore.
Exactly. Somebody said, starting to think the PWHL is a PSYOP by a misogynist to destroy women's hockey. It's a lot of just whack shit. It feels like it's weird. The PWHL jerseys are the biggest joke made in hockey history. Is this seriously the best they could do for new and improved women's league? What logo would everyone want to wear this point? Crap. And it doesn't even. The other thing is, it doesn't even feel like the teams have like brands. It's just the cities they're representing. Like no like actual team names. It's weird. It's fucking weird.
Okay. So let's talk about the AEW card. I mentioned the first match. So Hikaru Shida's in another rivalry with a rebranded Tony Storm using the
Which, by the way,
Kirby
Tony Storm,
which I think
incredible,
is great for the women's
incredible
title.
gimmick. By the way, just saying.
Yeah, incredible gimmick.
Y'all can talk AEW. I'm not much of an AEW person.
I'll talk about it. Then we have Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair in the corner.
I see clearly.
Why is
versus
Ric Flair in
Luchasaurus, Nick
AEW?
Wayne, and then everybody's dad, Christian Cage.
Not
Fatherless
my
child
dad.
detected.
Then we have
not my
Orange
dad,
Cassidy,
because-
John Moxley, the rematch for the international title. Then we have Hangman and Page versus Swerve Strickland, Texas Death Match, their second meeting.
Texas Death Match.
And then we got a pretty good tag match here. Golden Jets, which is Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, versus the Young Bucks. I'm like, why are the Elite feuding with themselves again?
Well, yeah. Also, their EVP tags got removed off of AEW's website, which I think is just for storyline. But
Okay, so there's a little stipulation. If the Golden Jets win, they become the number one contenders to the tag titles. But if the Young Bucks win, the tag group must disband. And then we have a three-way match for the TBS title. Statlander versus Julia Hart. And then the winner of Red Velvet or Sky Blue on Dynamite tomorrow. Winner gets to be in the triple threat.
Okay. If I had to make one prediction from what I've seen lately, I would say Sky beats Velvet to help Julia win the title because Sky had gotten misted before Julia went on hiatus because of her honeymoon for her wedding, and Sky has been turning heel slowly but surely. So there you go. Like, see, I pay attention to AEW, kind of.
All right, fatal four-way for the tag match. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Fascia Incanumbre, which is Russian Dolistico, versus FTR versus Kings of the Black Throne. If you don't know, it's basically House of Black, which is Malachi Black and Brody King. And then finally, MJF puts his main title on the line. He's doing double duty against Switchblade Jay White.
And the Guns.
Yeah, he also defends his ROH tag partners with a mystery partner against the Guns. Or should I say the Ass Boys?
Hey, don't disrespect
Trash Boys.
So anyway, speaking of AEW, they're doing some weird Yakuza gimmick street fight match.
Hey,
And then it's normal, and then, ew, why is Paul White still wrestling? Yeah.
Valor. Don't disrespect the Yakuza series. That series
Yakuza
is fucking
series
funny.
is good. I know this because one of the people in the new game is a VTuber who's doing.
Of course, that's
Yeah,
a VTuber.
well, I mean, again, it's just AEW boys being gamer nerds, which is respectable.
Which is fine.
Tony Khan's being a fan. Mark, as usual.
So what you're telling me is that there's VTuber stuff in AEW. Just play that fucking VTuber sound off your
Essentially,
soundboard
people
already.
have always brought VTuber signs and Bochi stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Yo,
play.
yo,
Valor, just play the VTuber sound off of your soundboard.
No.
I'm just
at
gonna
this
play
point,
the Oh Yo sound real quick.
That's what I'm talking about. Just play the one.
Oh no.
Excuse me. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I am having an aneurysm even trying to comprehend what this even was. Get the f*** out of here!
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I apologize for my sinning.
But also, so the Raiders, they recognize Isaac Rochelle's brother's military and athletic contribution to the Air Force, and then he got cut hours later. What the fuck?
Well,
God damn, Raiders.
Okay, we do not have any shameful display of the week because of our.
I want to do a chaos ball.
Chaos. Oh god.
Okay,
I mean,
take it away.
Because I want to mention my hometown hockey team. In their first 6 games, They lost all 6 games with a goal differential, 7 goals, 30 goals against. Like, fucking Jesus Christ.
Your team wants to be the Battle Creek Rumblebees, but they will never be the Battle Creek Rumblebees.
No, we're the fucking greatest team in that fucking in the Southern Professional Hockey League, and we fired our coach to the river and made sure that he never
Nobody
comes
drowned
back.
him in the river already. God damn.
Yeah, because guess what, Valor? This is a family, not a corporation.
Good.
Family.
Okay,
Anyway.
and your point is?
My point is, this season is lost. Tennessee sports is dead, and no one cares.
Alrighty. Well, before we go off the air, just a look around the
Just when you thought Tennessee would be good.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
At least we got
All right.
At least we got basketball.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
All right, well, taking a look around the league, we have the Bruins up 2-0 over the Sabres with goals from Dalton Heinen and
After
David.
what happened with
Yeah,
Tage
by the way,
Thompson,
on that
oh my
Tage
God,
Thompson
that was
thing,
bad.
so on that Tage Thompson thing, he appeared to have had trouble putting weight on his leg and went straight to the locker room. And guess which Bruins player happened to be just nearby when it happened and possibly in contact with him? Charlie fucking McAvoy.
Oh, great.
Yup.
Oh shit! Andre 3000 is releasing a new album this Friday.
All right, in other games, Pittsburgh and Columbus are tied. Goals from Sidney Crosby and Kirill Marchenko.
Crosby scoring on Columbus. Must be
Uh,
day that ends in Y.
The Flames and the Canadiens are tied at 0. All those have about 2 minutes to go. The Boston game has about 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. And 6 minutes to go in the
Fuck, it's the
game
third time I've dropped my fucking mic. I
Oh
knocked my
my
mic
God!
over.
Breaking news: we got a line brawl. We got a line brawl, folks, with Boston and Buffalo.
Speaking of Boston, that reminds me, and it's from a Dang It's video that Dangle did a few years back. It's a Bruins Lightning game, and
0-0.
Jack Edwards has 2 very hilarious calls when a line brawl breaks out. One of them was take your Harvard degree and take it to the hospital, and the other one, I cannot do these justice, and the other one was do you want to see the afterlife or something like that? It's not even related to whichever players were
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
McElrath
As a certain Steve Dangle would say, that's a dang it.
did a hit, and then that caused a fight between Dylan McElrath and Keegan Colasar. That caused a fight to occur there, so we had some beef. Sabres are going to go on.
Oh, we have beef?
Arby's. We've got beef, motherfuckers!
So, yeah, there was some beef. We have 4-on-4 action between Buffalo and Boston. McAvoy and Cousins, 2 minutes each for roughing. And the first period's going to end in Montreal, tied at 0. First period's going to end in Columbus, tied at 1. Let me see. I believe we do have NBA games tonight.
Well, we also have college basketball games going on.
Well, no,
Nobody
well, there's
cares.
so much of that going on, so we're not going to talk about that. But
Alrighty,
Nobody cares. What we do have in basketball, I will say before we go, Hornets are up 34-28 with 8.5 minutes in the second quarter. Hawks are up 43-36 with 9.5 minutes to go in the second. Pacers are up 38-35 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Magic and the Nets just got underway. It's 5-3 in favor of the Nets already early on, 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the Spurs are up 11-9 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Coming up tonight on the rest of the docket at 8 p.m. tip-off, we have the Mavs and Pelicans. 9 p.m., we have the Trailblazers and the Jazz tipping off. And then 2 games at 10 o'clock, we have the Clippers and the Nuggets and the Timberwolves at the Warriors. And at 10:30, we have a rematch of last year's first-round series between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers.
all right, so
Can I burn
we
this?
move
game?
what we got to move over to the motorsports world for two reasons. One,
Oh,
because while we were away, the
brother.
NHRA, or sorry, we'll get to them in a minute, but NASCAR crown their champions. Ben Rhodes wins by doing nothing. And the wildest,
Wireless.
stupidest fucking championship race anybody has ever fucking seen in the Truck Series. Cole Custer wins the championship in Xfinity, and then Ryan Blaney wins the Cup title. Finally.
Full.
But
That was a Ford sweep, baby.
something like that. Was it?
Yeah,
Might have been.
I think Ben Rhodes drove a Ford.
Yeah. Anyway, in the NHRA this past weekend, they got their champions. Gage Herrera won Pro Stock Motorcycle. Erica Enders won another Pro Stock title. And Matt Hagan won his 4th Funny Car Championship. And I got to do it like this. After 27 years of trying, 27 years of frustration, Doug Coletta has finally won his first Top Fuel World Championship. God damn. It's a crowning achievement for him after doing finish second points 6 times and went on a remarkable run during the countdown to the championship, winning 3 times. The first game his 50th career win, and he clinched his first world.
Do we really care about motors? Fake sport.
Yes, we do care about motorsports, dude.
Oh, crap. Hold on, Sarah. Why don't you go fucking cry to your Max Verstappen body pillow, you fucking...
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, in
I
NASCAR,
don't even like
NASCAR, the
Verstappen.
main ones, everybody can do this.
Also...
Save big money at Menards.
Yes,
Had to do it.
And the
one
Buffalo
more thing.
inebriation meter is officially getting into drunk levels again because Boston has made it 3-0 on a goal from Brandon Carlo.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
cool.
I want to mention this. Apparently, Kevin Harvick bought the estate of Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I saw that on ESPN.
Oh, and
So-
Columbus has broken the tie right before the intermission. Yegor Chinikov.
Fire that fucking cannon.
And the Capitals
And it's
score.
2-1.
Let's go. 1-0.
Did they score?
Alan, let's just... Well, that's going to
Let
be
me
it
see who
from
got
us.
that goal. It's Dylan Strome with the goal.
Dylan Strome makes it 1.
Dylan
All
Strome,
right.
he's nuts.
What?
Anyways. You'll never know unless you watch the stream back. Anyways, that's gonna be it for us.
Hey,
Well,
Billy, you do
hold
not
on.
end the stream. I end the stream.
We
bitch.
do have
You have
one
no
more.
power here.
We do have one more thing to announce, and actually, it's in the world of soccer. Both actually from soccer. It's
Oh, by the way, on that Carlo goal, people are saying Linus Olmark deserves a primary assist on that.
the
Oh, boy.
assists were given to Zaka and Pasternak. So I will say that we do have some news out of soccer, both with the New York Red Bulls and with the U.S. women's national team. So the New York Red Bulls and Dennis Hamlin mutually agreed to part ways. For some reason, the Red Bulls decided to delete that post. However, just to repost it. But Hamlet and the Red Bulls have agreed to part ways, so the Red Bulls are beginning an extension search for a new sporting director. That means the Red Bulls won't be a fucking locale legacy of failure anymore. Let's go. I'm happy about that. And the other big news is the U.S. women's national team. They got their manager. They got their girl. One of the most decorated, most distinguished managerial careers in all of women's club soccer is heading to the U.S. women's national team as they finalize the contract. They've finalized Emma Hayes as the 10th full-time head coach.
Meanwhile, Megan Rapinoe got hurt in her final game and then commented after the game saying God's not real and all that. Whatever the fuck. But we have college football news related to the Pac-12, or really the Pac-2 nowadays.
Oh, Colin Miller's
from Brandon Marcello Judge has ruled in favor of Washington State and Oregon State in a request for a preliminary injunction, which allows the two to be the only members of conference's board. They now control the Pac-12 for now. The 10 other schools will certainly appeal. From Judge Gary Libby, future meetings of Pac-12 board, Oregon State and Washington State, must include 10 invites to departing members who can make suggestions but will not have voting power. Rule goes into effect noon Pacific time on Monday. Damn,
hope
son.
The Devils have
active.
The Devils have activated Colin Mill off of IR, so they are getting some help on defense. Good.
Okay.
And CM Punk is doing a little bit of trolling as he just posted to IG that old advertisement for Hell in a Cell that he did back in the day when they had him dress up and they gave him horns and all that as the devil. He just
well, then again, that's also that could also be a reference to the devil in AEW. Again, we'll say
that's teasing both companies.
Yeah, but it's literally
from. I don't know what show it's from, but he's that meme with some guy saying, "I'm playing both sides, so I always win."
No, it's literally though from when they had him do, be a devil for Hell in a Cell. Well, no, I don't know what year that was for Hell in a Cell.
I think it showed Ryback driving him into the
I don't know. Let me look up what year that was where he was the promo on the poster.
I'm pretty sure he was on the cover of the pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure it was Hell in a Cell.
It was Hell in a Cell. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Darlene hit on Marchand some fireworks after with Cousins tossing Pasternak down. So that was the line, bro.
Yeah, so that image, because I knew that was in the HD era where they had Punk as a devil.
Yeah, it's in 2012.
Because that's from 2012. Not only the commercial advertising Hell in a Cell on pay-per-view, but that's also, because he had a poster. Same match where he faced Ryback. Yeah, he had a poster.
So Kurt Angle said earlier today that a movie about his life story will be made. Probably will start filming around next year. Yeehaw! He ain't no King Julian double agent. Fuck off with that shit. What the hell are you referring to there, sir?
Are you referring to Pepsi Man himself, CM Punk?
Oh. Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Woo!
Coke is better. Nah.
I don't like either. More of a straight and an orange soda kind of gal.
I'm more of this type of guy.
Water?
Yeah, because you dropped the alcohol, bitch.
I drink a lot of water too because the one year that I did marching band, the band director that we had always said, "Hydrate or die."
Well, that's just like a life thing.
That's just basically a life thing, Sarah. Besides, my soccer coach for senior year basically says you're only gonna get water at the end of practice.
Why am I just why is rubber band? Anyways,
also apparently I can get paid here, whatever the hell that means. And also, by the way, yesterday was, I believe, the 18-year anniversary of the passing of Eddie Guerrero. Oh,
yeah.
Paid here only at Wendy's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Viva la raza.
But anyway.
Viva la raza.
Leave the memories alone. Don't change a thing. Also, Viva la raza. But yeah, so this was fun. I had fun. I hope y'all had fun. Billy, you were late as hell, so you missed practically everything.
I was asleep.
Yeah, go figure, because you're a nocturnal bitch who works working on the night shift, baby.
Hey, somebody has to do it.
Shame it has to be you.
Ha! And it has to be Walmart of all companies.
I work there too. So
hey. You know what?
Yeah, I used to work at Walmart, and I did it during the middle of the pandemic, and I fucking hated it.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you either. The only benefits that I have moving out is because I could just walk to it. Easily walk to it. I don't live that far from it. Anyways,
well, same here, but I still drive.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
Alan, end the stream.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night.
Bye.